Chapter 1: Awakening the Chaos Body and Obtaining the Chaos Devouring Tower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Father, Su Hao has sent someone to convey the news that Su Chen must be expelled from the family. Otherwise, the Su clan will enforce family laws and clean up the family. Hey! He has already disabled Su Chen's blood wheel, why should he kill them all? If nothing happened to his third brother back then, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Poor Su Chen had just awakened the Imperial Bone, and was forcibly taken away by Su Hao. Su Hao is the #1 genius in the entire Su clan, and now he has reached the peak level of alchemy. Should he sacrifice his entire family for a useless person? Donghuang, Pandang Dynasty, Panyu City, Su family. The old man sitting at the head of the lobby had a weather-beaten face full of gloom, and his dark eyes were like two endless abyss, which made people shudder. Father, Su Hao has promised that as long as the family expels Su Chen, Su Yang can go to the Su clan and enter the Su clan to practice. Su Yang has awakened the blood wheel and successfully established the foundation. Shut up. Seeing that his father was really angry, Su Chen did not dare to speak anymore. His eyes became colder and colder, and Su Yuan clenched his fists tightly. How could he not understand what Su Hao meant? But there was nothing he could do about it. The Su family in Panyu City is just a small branch of the Su family. As long as the Su family is willing, they can easily destroy the Su family with a flick of their fingers. When Su Hao peeled off Su Chen's newly awakened imperial bones in public, no one in the Su family dared to stop him. It was because of this that he felt guilty for 10 years. In the wild continent, warriors are respected. The warrior realm is divided into acquired realm, innate realm, foundation building realm, golden elixir realm, yuaning realm, soul palace realm, concentration realm. When everyone is 6 years old, the bloodline will awaken in the body. Only in this way can the spiritual power of heaven and earth be introduced into the body and break through the innate realm. As for warriors who want to build a foundation, they need blood to reproduce the blood wheel and use spiritual power to enter the blood wheel to build the foundation. It can be said that those who cannot reproduce the blood will have no hope of successfully building the foundation in their lifetime. Su Chen successfully awakened his bloodline at the age of 6, and even awakened the companion emperor bone, triggering visions in the world that stretched thousands of miles and shocked all directions. Born with the bones of an emperor, he will definitely become an emperor, but I never thought of it. Su Hao from the Su clan happened to be passing by. Seeing the strange phenomenon in the world, he immediately took action to deprive Su Chen of his imperial bones. As long as the imperial bones were not fused, he could forcefully peel them off. Su Chen, who lost his imperial bones, still did not choose to be decadent and give up. He worked harder than others and finally used his bloodline to multiply the blood wheel. He also succeeded in building a foundation and became the first person among the younger generation of the Su family to successfully build a foundation. 3 days ago, Su Chen went to the heavenly punishment forest to look for the heavenly soul grass in order to save his father Su Zhan, but he happened to meet Su Hao again. Su Hao deliberately destroyed Su Chen's blood wheel but did not kill Su Chen, just to let Su Chen continue to live and then look down from above. "Chener, wake up and let him come to see me." After hearing their father's words, both Su Hong and Su Xian understood that their father had made a decision. For the sake of the entire family, they could only choose to sacrifice Su Chen and expel him from the family. Northwest corner, a secluded single courtyard. Dusk falls. In a dark room, there was a young man lying on the bed. There was a trace of pain on his handsome and resolute face, with sharp eyebrows and starry eyes, red lips and white teeth, and his deep eyes were tightly closed. Opening his eyes suddenly, Su Chen felt the heartbreaking pain in his body, and his entire face was as pale as white paper. Su Hao, that during the battle in the heavenly punishment forest, he was destroyed by Su Hao without even being able to resist one of Su Hao's moves. Blood wheel. If he doesn't kill himself, he just wants to see himself become a useless person and look down on him from above. If it weren't for the fusion of his imperial bones, would Su Hao be able to achieve what he is today? Can't accept this fact. The blood wheel is the foundation for warriors to practice martial arts. After the emperor's bones are stripped off, he can still continue to practice. As long as his talent is not bad and he works hard enough, he can still improve step by step. The blood wheel is completely different. Without a blood wheel, a warrior has no hope of building a foundation in his life. Feeling that the cultivation level in his body had fallen from the foundation building realm to the innate realm, Su Chen couldn't suppress the unwillingness in his body and spurted out a mouthful of blood. Buzz. Su Chen felt an eternal and vast bell suddenly ringing in his mind, and a small black tower slowly emerged from the center of his eyebrows and floated in front of him. Little black tower. Looking at the small black tower floating in front of him, Su Chen certainly wouldn't feel unfamiliar. When I was looking for the heavenly soul grass in the heavenly punishment forest, I accidentally broke into a cave. A black tower pattern appeared on the stone wall of the cave. He didn't even touch it. The black tower pattern on the stone wall suddenly disappeared, but he didn't expect that it would be hidden inside his body. At this time, a powerful suction suddenly came from the small black tower, and the whole person disappeared in an instant. Space inside the tower, in the boundless desolate space, air currents surged, covering the surroundings like paste. Su Chen, who was forcibly sucked in, looked around in shock. Welcome Master to the Chaos Devouring Tower. An illusory figure gradually condensed in front of Su Chen. His face could not be seen clearly, and his voice sounded like a machine. What are you? People. Master, I am the tower spirit of the Chaos Devouring Tower. Talling. Can you tell me what happened? The illusory figure nodded and said slowly, this Chaos Devouring Tower is a chaos treasure, born in chaos. Only those who possess a chaos body are qualified to become the master of the Chaos Devouring Tower. The master's chaotic body is covered by the Emperor's bones. After being peeled off, he is induced by the Chaos Devouring Tower, thus obtaining the Chaos Devouring Tower. Listening to Ta Ling's words, Su Chen felt that having his imperial bones stripped away was not a bad thing for him, but a good thing. He smiled helplessly. Now he can be sure of one thing, that is, the chaos body must be superior to the Emperor's bone, and the Chaos Devouring Tower he obtained is also a heaven-defying treasure. With a sigh, Su Chen said helplessly, my blood will has been broken. Even if I have a chaotic body, I can't continue to build the foundation and practice. Master, please rest assured. I can help you reunite the blood wheel and help you use the devouring power in the tower to reproduce the devouring blood wheel. Twin blood chakras. In the Tianhuang continent, those who can successfully build a foundation will definitely awaken their blood wheels. Almost all of them have a single blood wheel. Only special warriors can have twin blood wheels. Without exception, those who have twin blood wheels must be extremely powerful in the future. Su Chen never expected that his imperial bones were peeled off and his blood wheels were shattered, and that bad things would turn into good things, allowing him to have twin blood wheels. Master, please sit down. I will teach you the Chaos Devouring technique on behalf of the Chaos Devouring Tower. Su Chen did not hesitate, and immediately sat cross-legged, slowly closing his eyes, and instantly felt a stream of information, like a sea tide, rushing into his mind. It was the Chaos Devouring art that Ta Ling had just mentioned. Chapter 2: The Hatred of Seizing Bones, the Hatred of Useless Wheels. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The Chaos Devouring technique can only be practiced by cooperating with the Chaos body. The ethereal and eternal voice echoed in my mind. The avenue of chaos seizes the creation of heaven and earth, and controls the reincarnation of time. Only by peeking into the avenue of chaos can we achieve immortality. Chaos swallows everything in chaos, swallows it step by step, defies the heaven step by step, and reaches the top of the avenue of chaos. Buzz. The bells rang throughout my mind. Su Chen's body trembled violently, a look of pain appeared on his face again, but he gritted his teeth and persisted. The broken blood will actually began to slowly recondensate above the head, forming a round will shape, all blood red, from top to bottom of the Su clan. As long as they retain the Su clan blood, the awakened blood wheel is a sword. Su Chen is no exception. In the blood wheel that emerged above his head, there were floating fragments of broken sword fragments. When they regrouped, Su Chen couldn't help the murderous intention in his heart. The endless killing of Su Hao began to converge into the blood wheel, and began to killing serves as a medium to recondensate the sword and blood wheel. He will never forget Su Hao. 10 years ago, he stripped off the Emperor's bones, and 10 years later, his blood will was destroyed, all because of this person. The sword condensed with killing as the medium burst out an even more terrifying killing intent in the blood wheel, like an innocent soul from endless hell, devouring thousands of miles of clouds wantonly. The blood wheels reunited, Su Chen began to rebuild the foundation. And the chaotic body in his body had emerged, vast waves of chaotic aura instantly enveloped Su Chen's entire body, and a 10-foot-long figure condensed behind him. A gray-black light spread across the entire space inside the tower. The blood wheel gathers and the foundation condenses. Boom! The rolling vast aura of chaos, covered by the vast chaotic body, and the fallen cultivation level, under the blood wheel devouring spiritual power, instantly re-established the foundation, without any bottlenecks at all. The chaos swallowing art has been integrated into his mind. Of course Su Chen will not let go of this golden opportunity and immediately presses the button. When the chaos swallowing technique was activated, the whole body was like a whirlpool and began to be devoured crazily. Su Chen's vortex began to swallow the devouring aura from all directions. A steady stream of devouring aura poured into the body, forming an endless circular vortex in the dantian. As the speed of devouring becomes faster and faster, in the sky above Su Chen's head, the killing sword blood wheel that originally appeared was once again condensed into a circular blood wheel. Inside was a vortex of black mist, which was exactly the swallowing blood wheel that the tower spirit mentioned just now. The black mist vortex in the devouring blood wheel gradually began to form a black hole, exuding a frightening devouring aura, and its level was clearly higher than that of the killing sword blood wheel. Twin blood wheels, one is the killing sword blood wheel and the other is the devouring blood wheel. Su Chen never thought that one day, he would be able to have two blood wheels. Just when Su Chen was about to give up, he suddenly discovered that there seemed to be cracks in the blood in his body. What happened? Could it be that his bloodline was sealed by some mysterious force? How is it possible? Who would seal his bloodline for no reason? However, he felt that the bloodline in his body did have some kind of power seal, and under the operation of the chaos devouring technique, it began to make cracking sounds. As the first crack appeared, second, third, and even countless cracks appeared all over the seal of the entire bloodline, like a huge spider web. The extremely overbearing chaos devouring technique circulated throughout the body crazily. The seals could no longer withstand it, and they all shattered. The sealed bloodline was like a wild horse that broke free, galloping wantonly on the battlefield thousands of miles away. A dragon roared, an elephant roared, at the same time, it roared out from the bloodline. The dragon roars like a roar, the blood is like boiling water, boiling crazily. He suddenly opened his eyes and looked at his uncontrollable bloodline. The phantoms of 9 divine dragons and the illusory figures of 9 giant elephants surged out, roaring to the sky above their heads. Congratulations to the master for having dragon elephant bloodline and being able to condense the third blood wheel. Even though Su Chen had guessed a clue, he still couldn't help but be shocked when he heard Ta Ling's words, 3 life blood wheels. It is absolutely unprecedented, and I believe it will be unprecedented, looking at the entire Tianhuang continent, who can possess 3 blood wheels at the same time. Even Su Chen was a little confused. He still couldn't figure out who sealed the blood in his body, preventing him from condensing the dragon elephant blood chakra. There is no bloodline suppression. There were dragon roars and elephant roars, accompanied by the crazy rolling of blood, and the third blood wheel condensed again above Su Chen's head. A floating image of a dragon and elephant appeared in the blood wheel. The 3 blood wheels were stacked neatly on top of each other, and the breath of the blood wheel covered the whole body. Su Chen had already broken through to the 3rd level of foundation building before, but due to the broken blood wheel, his cultivation level dropped to the innate level. Now with the help of the reunion of the blood wheels and the re-establishment of the foundation, and the 3 blood wheels are superimposed and covered, Su Chen, who has broken through to the foundation building realm, begins to improve rapidly. Level 1 Foundation Building Realm. Level 2 Foundation Building Realm. Level 3 Foundation Building Realm. Level 4 Foundation Building Realm. Level 5 Foundation Building Realm. 6th level Foundation Building Realm. 7th level Foundation Building Realm. For levels higher than the previous cultivation level, rank was a blessing in disguise, and Su Chen couldn't help but feel pleasantly surprised. Congratulations to the master for having 3 blood wheels. Standing up, Su Chen felt that the injuries in his body had been completely recovered. It felt really good to have 3 blood wheels. The absolute suppression of the blood wheels gave him full confidence that he could sweep through the foundation building realm, even when facing low-level people. Even those in the Shudan realm can fight. The Golden Elixir realm is divided into 3 realms, namely the Virtual Elixir realm, the Real Elixir realm and the Golden Elixir realm. Su Hao is at the peak of the Real Alchemy realm. Master, I will give you a greeting gift. A writing brush appeared in Ta Ling's hand and handed it over. He took the pen and looked at the 2 words Burial Tribulation engraved on the handle of the pen. Before Su Chen could speak, Ta Ling said, Master, this pen is called the Burial Tribulation pen. Once used, it can form a tribulation within a specific space. The power of prohibition. Are there any restrictions? The realm cannot be too different, and every time you use the Burial Tribulation pen, it will consume a lot of souls. Understood. The tower spirit continued, Master, there are many martial arts and treasures in the Chaos Devouring Tower. If the master wants to obtain them, he needs to continue to grow and get what he wants in the Chaos Devouring Tower. Good. Turning around, his fists were clenched tightly, his deep eyes were filled with hatred, and waves of killing rushed out from Su Chen's body, like endless ancient ferocious beasts roaring up to the sky, trying to devour the entire sky. Su Hao, I will go to the Su clan to find you. I will take back the hatred for the bones and the hatred for the useless wheel, including the original capital and profits. The Su clan is one of the peak forces in the eastern wasteland. Even the Pandang dynasty is like an ant in front of the Su clan. What he needs most now is time. In his current situation, he can practice dozens of times faster than before. I believe that the day of revenge will not be too far away. Chapter 3. A dog is a dog and can never become a human being. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Boom. There was a loud noise, and the originally heavy wooden door was kicked open hard. Dozens of people walked in from outside, each with a fierce look, and they obviously looked like they were looking for trouble. Master, Su Chen hasn't woken up yet. If we break in like this, will the family master blame us? Snapped. The young man slapped him hard, with a hint of ferocity on his gloomy face, and said coldly, what a waste. Su Chen is about to be expelled from the family. Do I still need to care? Su Chen obviously didn't want to accept the reality, so he deliberately pretended to be unconscious. This little trick can't fool me. Su Yang, the son of Su Chen, the eldest son of the Su family, reproduced the blood will 3 days ago and successfully established the foundation. He became the second person among the younger generation of the Su family to successfully establish the foundation. The first person to build the foundation was Su Chen. Even if Su Chen's imperial bones were stripped off back then, his talent and strength would still dwarf the entire Su family. Su Yang was like a pug, following Su Chen every day. He was older and younger, and he was as humble as he wanted. It is precisely because of this that Su Yang felt so happy when he saw Su Chen's blood wheel was abolished and his cultivation level dropped to the innate realm. The change in strength caused their identities to change together. He no longer is the pug that only nodded and bowed. Now he can look down at Su Chen and regain all the dignity he once lost. From Su Yang's point of view, regardless of whether Su Chen's coma was true or not, he would humiliate Su Chen before being expelled from the family. Go in and drag Su Chen out for me. I want to see how long he can keep pretending. Yes. No one dares to violate it. Today's situation in the Su family is obviously different. The once high-spirited Su Chen, with the shattering of his blood wheel and the intimidation of the Su clan, not only has his status plummeted, but he will also be expelled from the family by the head of the family. When Su Chen was in glory, Su Yang was definitely the most beautiful. Flattery. But now, the former kneeling and licking has turned into viciousness. Only in this way can the anger and dignity in the heart be healed. On the other hand, Su Yang has successfully established the foundation, and will go to the Su clan later. Don't talk about them then. Even if you meet the head of the family, you must be respectful. Don't wait for everyone to enter the room. Creak, the door was pushed open and Su Chen walked out, looking at the dozens of people in front of him. His face was very cold. his voice revealed a hint of chill, and he said coldly, "Everyone, get out. The blood will has been abolished, and the cultivation level has dropped to the innate realm. How dare you show off here?" Su Yang snorted coldly and said mockingly, "Su Chen, don't be so arrogant. Grandpa has decided to expel you from the family. Now you are just a homeless dog. If you kneel in front of me and beg me, maybe I will treat you kindly, otherwise, you will experience the consequences yourself." He looks like a villain with a triumphant look. The more this happened, the happier Su Yang felt in his heart. He just wanted to trample Su Chen under his feet and humiliate him severely, humiliate this former genius of the Su family. As long as he thought of himself, following this person's back as a dog, Su Yang couldn't help but feel angry in his heart. Only humiliation could make him feel that he could regain his dignity and feel good. Dozens of people standing behind Su Yang were all gearing up and looking at Su Chen in front of them with vicious eyes. Being able to humiliate the former family genius is definitely a very satisfying thing for them. What they have to do now is to please Su Yang so that they can obtain the maximum benefits. Only by stepping on Su Chen can he gain Su Yang's favor. "Su Yang, before, you are a dog, and you are still a dog now. As for whether you want to bark twice, you have to see if your fangs are sharp enough." Being called a dog in public, the angry Su Yang said in a cold voice, "Su Chen, you still dare to be so crazy? Do you really think that you are still the #1 genius of the family before? I want you to be a dog today and kneel in front of me to beg me. Cripple him for me." Yes. Dozens of people rushed forward, not caring at all. Anyway, Su Yang was responsible for anything that happened. In the Su family today, Su Yang is definitely the most respectable. Who dares to provoke Su Yang? Even the head of the family wants to please Su Yang. Once Su Yang goes to the Su clan to practice, he will definitely become a strong man and dominate Panyu City in the future. When the time comes, the family will still have to rely on Su Yang. Dogs rely on human power. Su Chen's eyes were cold. Even his cousins were so unbearable in the face of the so-called cruel reality. Who dared to provoke me in the past? Seeing that he couldn't do it, he immediately showed his fangs, wanting to humiliate himself severely and add insult to injury. With one quick step, Su Chen's figure disappeared instantly. Referring to the sword, the domineering sword energy looked particularly cold in the dusk. Before dozens of people could get closer, pitiful screams suddenly rang out. Sword energy spread across everyone, limbs and arms flew across, and blood instantly dyed the ground red. After images flashed, and Su Chen's figure gradually condensed out. The dozens of people who were still alive and kicking just now have all turned into corpses. The pungent smell of blood spread, scaring Su Yang back again and again. Su Chen is still so strong, holding back the shock and horror in his heart. Su Yang kept telling himself that Su Chen's blood wheel was now broken, and his cultivation had fallen to the innate realm. Chapter 4. If you are in the 1st grade of junior high school, I will be in the 15th grade. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. The cruel reality told him that if he wanted to survive in this world where martial arts was respected, he couldn't be soft-hearted at all, even if he was a cousin. If he had not obtained the Chaos Devouring Tower and reunited his blood wheel, he would have been severely humiliated by Su Yang. I would like to ask, does Su Yang have compassion? Who will come to help him? No one will help. This is the cruel reality. Su Chen, you have been expelled from the family. If you dare to attack me, Grandpa will definitely not let you go, and neither will the Su clan. Boom. Before Su Yang could continue talking nonsense, he was kicked hard in the stomach. The pain spread all over his body instantly. Because of the suppression of the blood chakra and the fact that Su Yang was already frightened to the extreme, he didn't even have the courage to take action. Sun Leng's eyes were fixed on Su Yang in front of him, and Su Chen's voice sounded like it came from the cold hell. I will let you taste the feeling of the broken blood wheel now. Let's see if the Su clan will still want you after losing the blood wheel. Hearing this, Su Yang couldn't help but feel a huge tremor in his heart. He was so frightened that his face instantly turned pale, and he yelled crazily, Su Chen, how dare you? Whether I dare or not is not up to you. The blood will poured into his right hand, and he slashed hard at Su Yang with his finger sword. His eyes showed no fluctuation or pity at all, as if he was looking at the wild boar struggling to death. He never thought that Su Yang, who used to beg for mercy and fawning after him, would be the first to appear in front of him. Instead of comforting and caring, he wanted to humiliate himself, and even wanted to step on him to get the upper hand. To please the Su, if you do the first grade of junior high school, I can do the 15th grade. Time. Miserable screams echoed through the void, and the blood will condensed above Su Yang's head was penetrated by the domineering sword energy. With a bang, the entire blood chakra shattered, a mouthful of blood spit out, and Su Yang fainted. Immediately, Su Chen looked towards the lobby. He had already received the news from Su Yang that he was about to be expelled from the family. It seemed that his grandfather chose to give up on him because of the family. Hate it? Unless you are a saint, how can you not hate that the family that gave birth to and raised you now has to choose to give up on yourself? Ignoring the unconscious Su Yang, Su Chen left the yard and walked directly towards the lobby. On the way to the lobby, Su Chen had already asked someone to inform his grandfather that he wanted to resolve the matter immediately. In the lobby, Su Yuan was also surprised when he was informed. He did not expect that Su Chen would send someone to notify him. It seemed that Chen'er already knew the news that he was about to be expelled. He felt very guilty, but there was nothing he could do about it. As the head of the Su family, he could not bring about the destruction of the entire family for the sake of one person. Only by giving up Su Chen can the family be preserved. Hearing the footsteps, Su Yuan raised his head and looked at the young man who walked in slowly. There was no expression on his handsome face, which was so indifferent that it made people feel distressed. With a sigh, Su Yuan held the chair handle with both hands tightly. Even if there is a slight chance, he is unwilling to expel his grandson from the family. He has already lost his best son, and now he is about to lose his best grandson. He can completely imagine the consequences of Chen'er leaving the family. There was no salute, just standing like this. Su Chen's face was full of indifference, looking at his grandfather sitting in the first place. Su Yuan was the first to break the silence. Chen'er, how is your injury? Grandpa will still care about my injury. Hearing the resentment in his grandson's tone, Su Yuan sighed deeply, feeling guilty. Grandpa, as the head of the Su family, must consider the entire family. Without too much explanation, the meaning is very clear. Family is the most important thing, and you cannot choose to give up the entire family for one person. At this time, furious roars came from outside the hall. Where is that beast Su Chen? I will cut him into pieces today. The angry Su Chen walked in with Su Hong and others. When he saw the young man standing in the middle of the lobby, he roared, Beast, you have done a good thing. Presumptuous. Father, Su Chen destroyed Su Yang's blood wheel. Looking at his own grandson in front of him, Su Yuan seemed a little unconvinced. After all, Su Chen's blood will has been broken, and his cultivation has fallen to the innate realm. How could it be possible to destroy Su Yang's blood wheel? You must know, Su Yang has awakened the blood wheel and successfully established the foundation. Has the matter been cleared up? Father, Su Yang's blood wheel is shattered, and he is even more unconscious now. The more he spoke, the angrier he became. Su Yang successfully established the foundation and will later go to the Su clan to practice. As the saying goes, the father is more valuable than the son, so he can follow his son to gain glory and become a master. What now? As Su Yang's blood wheel was broken, everything was shattered. The Su clan would not want to waste with a broken blood wheel. Who did you just call a beast? Call you a beast? You are a cancer in the family. You want the family to suffer misfortune with you. It is really sad for the family to have a trash like you. If it weren't for his fear of his father, Su Chen would have wanted to cut Su Chen into pieces and crush his bones into ashes. His eyes suddenly turned cold, and Su Chen's figure disappeared instantly, leaving only after images flashing. Next. The sound of sword chants resounded through the hall, and the extremely domineering sword energy rushed towards him. A cold murderous intention instantly enveloped Su Chen, making him tremble. His horrified face was filled with disbelief. Before Su Chen had time to react, he was hit by the sword energy. Along with a miserable cry, dozens of blood holes instantly appeared on his body. because the pain coming from his body caused Su Chen's entire face to become distorted. Blood stained the ground under his feet, and the pungent smell of blood slowly spread. Silence fell. In the silent lobby, everyone, including Su Yuan, was dumbfounded at the scene in front of them. They all gasped. No one believed that a person with a broken blood will could defeat an 8th level foundation building level person in one move. Su Chen, are you dazzled? Looking at Su Chen indifferently, Su Chen smiled coldly and said, "You two, father and son, are not qualified enough to step on me and get the upper hand. Apologize immediately, otherwise, the sword energy will penetrate every part of your body." Su Chen endured the bursts of pain in his body, his face full of shock and anger. Even if he was beaten to death, he would not have thought that the waste with broken blood will could actually defeat him with one move. "Su Chen, he will always be your uncle." Before Su Hong could finish speaking, Su Chen had already stopped her. "Second uncle, do you still have family ties in the face of reality?" Su Hong wanted to say something else, but she just looked at her nephew's cold eyes in front of her, sighed deeply in her heart, and swallowed the words as soon as they reached her lips. Looking at his father, Su Chen said in a weak voice, "Father, are you just watching Su Chen humiliate me? Apologize to Chinner." He felt very guilty. From Su Yuan's point of view, there was not much he could do for his grandson. Su Chen kept retreating, anger and unwillingness were written on his face. Even his father didn't help him. Did he really want to apologize to Su Chen? Apologize, impossible. Su Chen smiled and gloated, "Su Chen, don't think you have won. If you provoke Su Hao, you will no longer have a foothold. You will also be expelled from the family, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Show mercy. Ignore Grandpa." Su Chen used the sword technique and integrated the blood will into the sword technique. The sharp and domineering sword energy directly penetrated Su Chen's mind and penetrated the blood will fiercely. Chapter 5 I Meet Your Requirements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With a scream, Su Chen's body fell to the ground like a kite with its string broken, the same fate as Su Yang. The blood will was penetrated by the sword energy. There was total silence, no one dared to make the slightest sound, they all stared stupidly at the scene in front of them, no one expected it. Su Chen dared to destroy the uncle's blood will, but you must know that the blood wheel is as important as life to a warrior. Once the blood wheel is lost, he can only stay in the innate realm for life, with no hope of building a foundation. You may not be human, but I, Su Chen, have my own bottom line. Su Chen has always been his uncle. He is not a ruthless monster. He cannot kill his family, but he will destroy the blood wheels of Su Yang and Su Chen. This is the price to pay for provoking him. Everyone was frightened. Su Chen was too strong. Even the 8th level foundation establishment realm uncle couldn't withstand Su Chen's sword. This was so terrifying. The most important thing is that the head of the family did not stop it. "Grandpa, the grievances between Su Hao and I will not affect the family. From now on, Su Chen will banish myself from the family. I will no longer be a disciple of the Su family. I will leave the Su family later. My father has nothing to do with this matter. Please treat me kindly. Father." After hearing this, everyone's expressions were very moved, and no one thought that Su Chen would choose to expel himself from the family. Aside, people who want to keep their family have no way to do it in front of the powerful Su clan. Seeing the figure turning away, Su Yuan closed his eyes in pain. The imperial bones that originally belonged to Su Chen were not only deprived by Su Hao, but also forced by the Su clan's intimidation to watch his grandson leave the family. As a grandfather, he could only accept it. Take Su Chen down and take good care of him. Father, do you really want Su Chen to drive away from the family? This matter ends here. Go ahead and tell me that no one is allowed to discuss this matter without permission. Anyone who disobeys the order will be killed. Yes. Inside the ice room, there are huge pieces of ice on all sides, which remain cold all year round. On the huge ice cube in the center, there is an ice coffin, which is completely ice blue. Inside the ice coffin lay a middle-aged man, whose appearance was very similar to Su Chen's. He lay quietly, like a living dead. Su Chen's figure appeared in the ice room, looking at the ice coffin in front of him, especially the man lying in the ice coffin. He slowly knelt down on his knees. "Father, the child is unfilial. For some special reason, he has been expelled from the family and is about to leave the family. One day, the child will help his father wake up." Su Chen, once the most powerful man in the eastern wasteland, intimidated all tribes and sects, but now he can only lie in an ice coffin and become a living dead. The Su family tried countless methods, but there was no way to wake up Su Chen. Suddenly, the dragon elephant blood in Su Chen's body began to tumble, and a drop of dragon elephant blood was forced out of the body and quickly integrated into the ice coffin. The next second, strong dragon elephant fluctuations came from the ice coffin, like a sea wave rushing crazily into Su Chen's mind. After fusing for half an hour, Su Chen slowly opened his eyes. 9 dragons and 9 elephants technique. Su Chen could guess that his sealed dragon elephant bloodline and the 9 dragons and 9 elephants technique he had just obtained from the ice coffin must have unknown secrets. However, his father became a living dead and could not tell him. Footsteps sounded. Su Yuan walked in, looked at his grandson kneeling in front of the ice coffin, and sighed deeply in his heart. "Chener, I have already contacted the dean of Donghuang College because your father was. The college is kind, so you can go to Donghuang College to practice, and the Su clan does not dare to offend Donghuang College." Looking at the jade plaque handed over by his grandfather with the words Eastern Wasteland College written on it, Su Chen did not refuse. He knew what his grandfather meant. Only by finding strong protection could he create time for himself to practice and have the strength to go to the Su clan for revenge. "This is an engagement. The news about you has reached the royal family. The Ji family of the royal family wants to terminate the engagement." After taking the jade plaque and the marriage certificate, Su Chen's eyes instantly became cold. When the Ji family of the Pandang royal family saw their father roaming the eastern wasteland, they sent people over and over again to try to get married. Now that their imperial bones were deprived of them, and now even more threatened by the Su clan, the Ji family of the royal family finally couldn't sit still and chose to terminate their engagement, want to break off the engagement. Su Chen stood up and threw all the jade plaques and marriage certificates into the space ring. Even if he wants to break off the engagement, he should break it off himself, not the Ji family. Looking at his grandson who turned around to leave, Su Yuan's face was a little pale. He wanted to speak, but he swallowed the words back. He didn't know what to say. After all, he was the one who felt sorry for Chener. He did not stay any longer and left the family. Su Chen was going to go directly to Donghuang College and had to buy himself time to practice. As the first college in the eastern wasteland, due to the intimidation of Donghuang College, even the Su clan would not dare to confront him head-on. I believe that the Su clan would not engage in a life-and-death fight with Donghuang College for the sake of Su Hao. The noisy streets were filled with shouts and shouts. Su Chen, however, had no intention of going to see the prosperous scene. "Hey, isn't this the famous genius Su from Panyu City?" A strange voice came, and dozens of young people walked over with sinister smiles on their faces, and each of them looked at Su Chen with very unfriendly eyes. "Get away!" How could Su Chen fail to recognize that these people were all disciples of major families in Panyu City? The dog that used to be behind him now jumped out and barked when he heard that he was being killed. Great genius Su even has his blood will destroyed by others, yet he still dares to be so rampant. Believe it or not, I will crush you to death and your Su family will not stand up. Kneel down and scream twice. As long as you make us happy, you'll be fine. Otherwise, you'll have to go home with a pig's head on your back. Looking at Su Chen with cold eyes, dozens of people were not afraid at all. What strength can he have if his blood wheel is disabled? Humiliating a former genius is simply not a good feeling. Great genius Su, don't you agree? Okay, I'll stand here and hit me if you can. One of them walked directly in front of Su Chen, grabbed Su Chen's fist and pressed it to his face, constantly shouting that he was sure that the other party would not dare, so he was so unscrupulous. The people watching around were all sighing. Anyone can think of it, once the #1 genius in Panyu City, Su Chen from the Su family would sink to such a level that he dared not speak out even after being humiliated. This is the cruel reality. I fulfill your request. Buzz. The sword roar roared out from Su Chen's body, and the sword blood will suddenly condensed above his head, startling everyone around him before they could react. Su Chen has already performed the sword technique and merged into the sword blood wheel. The dense domineering sword energy rippled out and penetrated directly through the bodies of dozens of people. The ground was dyed red with blood. The pungent smell of blood told everyone that the scene that happened in front of them was real, killing dozens of shouting people with one sword. How tyrannical this is. The author has something to say. A new book has been opened. Please support this book. Thank you, Xianhe. Chapter 6. If you dare to scratch your head, I will give you a sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No mercy at all. Under the influence of the cruel reality, Su Chen has gradually understood the truth, that is, never show the slightest kindness and mercy to the enemy at any time. Without staying any longer, Su Chen turned and left God's Punishment Forest, located in the northeast of Panyu City. If you want to get to Donghuang Academy in the shortest time, the fastest way is through the Heavenly Punishment Forest. This is the world of monsters, and there are rumors that there are monsters. In the concentration realm in the deepest part of the forest, dense forests cover the sky. Dusk fell, shrouding the towering trees. Desolation swept through the forest, making people feel very uncomfortable. When Su Chen arrived at the Forest of Punishment, it was completely dark, and the hazy sky was so oppressive that it made people breathless. In the Heavenly Punishment Forest at night, wild beasts roared everywhere, and pitiful cries were heard from time to time. It was believed that warriors were being devoured by monsters. Many warriors choose to enter the forest for training or hunting animals for sale. Looking at the dark forest in front of me, Su Chen's eyes were very cold. It was here that his blood will was destroyed by Su Hao a few days ago. He will take the first step from here. The moment Su Chen stepped into the forest, he heard powerful fluctuations, which seemed strange. There was no grinding, and he quickly went directly in the direction of the wave. A black bear over 4 meters tall was fighting furiously with a man. They are all in the void core realm. His eyes suddenly lit up. Su Chen did not take action or choose to leave. What he had to do now was to watch the fire fight from the other side. When one person, one bear and both sides were injured, he would stand up and clean up the mess. He has begun to practice the Chaos Devouring technique. The most domineering part of this chaos martial arts is that it can devour any power for your own use without any backlash or sequelae. Boom boom boom. The life and death battle between one man and one bear continued to escalate. Because the ground could not bear the overbearing aura, cracks began to appear and spread around. Like a huge spider web, the ground was dyed red with blood. The strength of one person and one bear was almost the same. If they continued to fight to the death, both sides would be injured. Even though they knew the result, both sides did not dare to stop first. Boom. Under the strongest collision, the bodies of one person and one bear were all thrown to the ground, and the sound of bones breaking could even be heard in the silent night. With a happy expression on his face, Su Chen rushed out without any hesitation, close to Black Bear's, because the Black Bear's injuries were so serious. Even if he saw someone coming in front of him and wanted to do him harm, he just stared at him fiercely, but he was unable to stand up again and take action. To refer to the sword blood wheel is integrated into the sword energy. The fierce and domineering sword energy contained cold murderous intent and penetrated directly through the Black Bear's head. The Chaos Devouring technique was running rapidly in the body, and the devouring power wrapped around the Black Bear's soul and began to erode it crazily. The Chaos Devouring technique can swallow all power, including the souls of monsters and warriors. Su Chen knew very well that if he wanted to quickly improve his cultivation, he must use the Chaos Devouring technique. Otherwise, the speed of his cultivation would be limited. As for whether it was cruel or not, Su Chen simply chose to ignore it. In a world where martial arts is respected, martial arts is everything. Fist determines life, death and dignity. Black Bear is a void core realm monster. The soul was swallowed into Su Chen's body and began to be forcibly refined with the help of the Chaos Devouring technique. It is unknown how much pure power can be refined. In just a few seconds, the Black Bear's soul had been forcefully devoured. Thank you for your help. I will repay you 100-fold one day. When the man saw the young man beheading the black bear, his heart was a little twitching, but he still remained calm. Normally, he would definitely not take a Foundation establishment level warrior seriously, but the current situation is a little different. In a life-and-death fight with a black bear, even an ordinary person could easily kill him despite being severely injured, let alone facing the Foundation building realm. I'm not helping you, and you don't need to thank me. Feeling the terrifying murderous intent bursting out from the young man, the man's heart suddenly sank. He was really afraid of what could happen. As long as you stop, I'm willing to reveal a secret about the Forest of Punishment. How about that? Explain. Your Excellency, you must promise me. Before the man could finish his words, a sword energy broke through the void and landed on his left arm. Along with the miserable scream, the entire left arm was cut off by the sword energy, and blood sprayed out like a fountain. His face was as pale as paper, beads of sweat rolled down his face, and he gritted his teeth in pain. Even if he beat the man to death, he wouldn't have thought that he would take action as soon as he said it. If you dare to grind for a moment, I will give you a sword. I don't know how long you can hold on. Cruel enough. Originally, I wanted to exchange the secret for my life, but now it seems that it is completely unfeasible. I met a madman and didn't even give him a chance to exchange. I got this broken picture accidentally. There is a great opportunity in the depths of the Forest of Punishment. Taking the broken picture from the man's hand, Su Chen, his fingers shot out in the air, and the sharp sword energy penetrated the center of his eyebrows. The moment his body fell, the man with a pair of bull's eyes couldn't figure out why he was still beheaded after he had handed over the residual map, run the Chaos Devouring technique again and immediately begin to devour the man's soul. One person and one bear were both in the Void Core realm, swallowing 2 souls. Su Chen immediately chose to sit cross-legged and began to refine the power of soul fusion. The refined power flows into every part of the body. Under the superimposition and coverage of the 3 blood wheels, the power starts to gather from the body into the sword blood wheel. To advance to the Foundation establishment realm, one must continuously pour power into the blood wheel. The power of the 2 Void Core realm souls poured in. Su Chen raised his head to the sky and let out a long roar. He instantly broke through the bottleneck and successfully advanced from the 7th level to the 8th level of the Foundation establishment realm. Level Foundation building realm. It's still faster to swallow and break through. Very satisfied with the devouring effect, in Su Chen's view, if you want to quickly improve your strength, you cannot care about benevolence, justice, and morality. Killing is a stepping stone to martial arts practice and no one can avoid it. After taking away the man's space ring, Su Chen looked at the broken picture in his hand. The residual map marks half of the location, so it shouldn't be difficult to lock it down, only, the location shown on the residual map is deep in the forest. Once you encounter monsters above the real pill realm, including nascent soul realm monsters, soul palace realm monsters, and even condensation realm monsters, how should you deal with them? To go or not to go? Su Chen looked into the depths of the forest, holding the broken picture tightly in his hand. Faced with the opportunity, if he chose to give up because he was afraid of death, it would be better to just find a place to hide. There is no talk of revenge, let alone reaching the pinnacle of martial arts. Opportunities can be encountered but cannot be sought. His eyes gradually became firmer, and Su Chen finally decided to go deeper and look for the opportunity recorded on the residual map. Chapter 7 Bloodthirsty Nether Bat. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The forest looked particularly desolate under the night. Su Chen worked hard. After all, the deeper the forest goes, the higher the level of the monsters. It is even possible to encounter the legendary monsters in the concentration realm. With his strength in the Foundation establishment realm, he might still be able to fight against the Void Core realm. Once he encounters a real Core realm or a Golden Core realm monster, he can only turn around and retreat. While looking for a place of opportunity based on the residual map, he hunts monsters and devours souls. If you want to quickly improve your cultivation level, devouring power is the fastest way. First level Void Core realm monster, Monster Moon Sirius. A pair of cold eyes stared at him, and Su Chen instantly recognized the level of the monster. You are the one. Not only was there no fear at all, but he seemed very excited. take the initiative." Before anyone arrived, the sword energy had already arrived. Back in the family martial arts pavilion, Su Chen obtained an incomplete sword technique that no one had practiced, called the Nine Tribulations sword technique. In addition to being incomplete, this sword art is also extremely difficult to practice, so no one cares about it in the martial arts pavilion. Su Chen liked this sword technique very much, but he had only scratched the surface. After reuniting the blood wheel, multiplying the 3 life blood wheels, and awakening the chaotic body, he unexpectedly discovered that he was gradually comprehending the Nine Tribulations sword technique that he had practiced silently. The blood wheel is integrated into the sword technique. The overbearing killing sword energy, which contained traces of thunderous sounds, instantly broke through the void and struck hard at Yaoyue Tianlang. The dense killing sword energy roared in like a tsunami, blocking the 4 directions of southeast, northwest and northwest. Raising his head to the sky and roaring, the angry Yaoyue Sirius didn't seem to have thought that this human warrior at the Foundation establishment realm would dare to take the initiative. It was a complete provocation. It was a head-on confrontation without any dodge. In Yaoyue Tianlang's view, oneself are dignified and empty, Dan realm, but the opponent is only in the Foundation establishment realm. As long as you move your wolf claws, you can easily destroy the opponent. The results of it. Boom! The moment the wolf claws and sword energy collided, Yaoyue Tianlang instantly felt that something was wrong. The sword energy contained thunderous killing, eroding fiercely and directly penetrating the wolf claws, accompanied by a scream. Poor Yaoyue Tianlang didn't even react to what happened, but he was already pierced by dozens of sharp sword energy and fell to the ground. Without any hesitation, Su Chen immediately used the Chaos Devouring technique and began to devour the soul power in Yaoyue Tianlang's mind. Not only when hunting monsters, but also when meeting lone warriors, Su Chen would not be polite at all. Devour directly. It lasted all night. A secluded place, Su Chen sat cross-legged, running the Chaos Devouring technique in his body, quickly refining the huge soul that had been swallowed in his body, and poured it into the sword blood wheel crazily. It has 3 life blood wheels, namely the killing sword blood wheel, the dragon elephant blood wheel and the swallowing blood wheel. He only needed to pour power into one of the blood wheels. Su Chen chose the killing sword blood wheel, because the killing sword blood wheel was his foundation. The sweat on his face caused Su Chen to continuously form seals with his hands, and the power that had been refined in his body poured into the blood wheel continuously. Such intense and rapid refining and infusion made it somewhat difficult for Su Chen to operate the Chaos Devouring technique, but he gritted his teeth and persisted. The sky slowly started to get brighter. After practicing for a whole night, Su Chen finally stabilized his cultivation at the peak 8th level foundation building realm. He only needed to increase his strength to hit the 9th level foundation building realm territory. After skinning and cleaning the Yaoyue Sirius, he lit a fire and started grilling. The aroma of the meat spread, and Su Chen quickly ate it. After eating and drinking enough, he continued to hunt monster beasts and devour their souls. Su Chen, isn't your blood chakra destroyed? Why did you appear in the forest of punishment? Dozens of people came over with curious faces, and one of them, a girl with a decent appearance and a chubby face, said curiously, disciples of the Wang family in Panyu City, led by Wang Quan, a 6th level foundation building realm, entered the heavenly punishment forest to practice. The entire Panyu City has heard that Su Chen, the first genius of the Su family, was deprived of his blood will by Su Hao of the Su clan. His cultivation level even dropped to the innate realm. Without his blood wheel, Su Chen is already half a useless person. But never expected to appear in the heavenly punishment forest, the former Wang Yinyu had always had a secret love for Su Chen. Seeing Su Chen reduced to such a state, he felt a little regretful, but the secret love no longer existed. What can I do if I'm handsome? This world values strength, and for warriors, the blood wheel is the foundation. Just choosing to ignore it, Su Chen, who had finished practicing, was ready to leave. You are really rude. You deserve to have your blood will destroyed. Forget it, he is already pitiful enough, why add insult to injury? Fortunately, he didn't pursue Su Chen at the beginning, otherwise, he wouldn't even have a chance to regret it now. What sound? Chi-chi. Chi-chi. Those are bloodthirsty nether bats. Oh my god, why are there so many bloodthirsty nether bats? As the sound of panic rang out, huge bats suddenly appeared from all directions, their bodies were blood red, and their cold eyes exuded a heart-stopping fear. Afraid of the cold light, waves of stench converged into an overwhelming sea, making people sick. Bloodthirsty nether bats live in groups of monsters and like to devour monsters and warriors. They exude a foul odor and are highly poisonous. Once they encounter this group of monsters, it will be difficult for even Golden Core Realm warriors to leave alive. The faces of everyone in the Wong family were full of fear and despair. They really didn't expect that they would be so unlucky to encounter such a terrifying group of monsters. Everyone came together back to back. Wong Quan's face was extremely pale. The people he brought out this time were all the core elites of the family. Once they were lost, it would definitely be an irreparable loss for the family. We must find a way to take these people away. If you can walk one, it counts as one. Follow me and get out. After just one encounter, a disciple of the Wong family let out a miserable scream. After being left alone, he was devoured by the overwhelming bloodthirsty ghost bats. In an instant, his body was gone. Even the blood was devoured cleanly, leaving only the pungent blood. The smell also disappeared in the stench. Kill. Seeing their relatives being devoured, Wang Yin and others suppressed the sadness in their hearts and killed like crazy in fear. Su Chen's eyes were also extremely solemn. He seemed not to have expected that he would encounter such a disgusting monster here. Densely dense bloodthirsty ghost bats gathered around and blocked all the ways out. If you want to get out, you can only force your way out. Blood-red mist enveloped the entire void. There is no way to avoid it, so you can only choose to fight head-on. The people of the Wong family, under the dense siege of the bloodthirsty nether bats, began to gradually decrease, and were devoured one by one, without bones or flesh and blood. They were all devoured cleanly. In less than 2 minutes, only half of the Wong family was left. Chapter 8 Heavenly Dragons, Ancient Altar. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Countless bloodthirsty nether bats savaged Su Chen crazily. It stinks. The stench was overwhelming. Su Chen's face was filled with disgust as he looked at the bloodthirsty nether bats swarming around him. A blood wheel formed above his head, and within it was a dragon elephant phantom running and roaring. Blood wheel. Looking at Su Chen, who had condensed the blood wheel not far away, Wang Quan, Wang Yinxin and others were completely dumbfounded. No one thought that Su Chen, whose blood wheel had been abolished, could reactivate the blood wheel. What kind of blood wheel is this? Everyone in Panyu City knows that the awakened blood wheel of the Su family is a sword, and as long as they are core disciples, there is no exception, including Su Chen. What now? Seeing the blood wheel emerging above Su Chen's head, he was either confused or shocked. A dragon roared and an elephant roared. 9 illusory dragon shadows and 9 illusory elephant shadows roared out from the blood wheel. Su Chen used the 9 dragons and 9 elephants technique and began to bombard the surroundings fiercely. Even if it kills the bloodthirsty nether bat, it will never be swallowed. This kind of monster was so smelly that even Su Chen couldn't bear it and had no choice but to give up swallowing it. The dragon elephant blood will envelop Su Chen. Boom boom boom. The densely packed bloodthirsty nether bats frantically bombarded the dragon elephant blood chakra. Being hit continuously, blood began to slowly ooze from the corners of Su Chen's mouth. His eyes became more and more solemn, and if he continued like this, he might cause himself a lot of trouble. A burial pen appeared in his hand. This treasure given to him by the tower spirit has great restrictions. Not to mention the realm restrictions, just every time he uses the burial tribulation pen, his soul will be consumed. In the forest of heaven's punishment, once your soul is consumed and you suffer severe damage, you will be in great danger. Gathering souls poured into the burial tribulation pen. Open in all directions, start waving, drawing stroke by stroke. Time. Thunder roared, and the extremely domineering thunder tribulations quickly gathered under Zhang Jie's pen, forming an absolute taboo of heavenly tribulation suppression within the range. Boom. Boom. The bodies of the bloodthirsty nether bats that poured into the area of the burial tribulation exploded instantly and turned into clouds of blood mist. Even so, the bloodthirsty nether bats still bombarded wildly, gathering from all directions like moths to a flame. More and more bloodthirsty ghost bats were being slaughtered, and the blood gathered into a river. Past. Seeing that Su Chen was able to resist the attack of the bloodthirsty nether bat, Wang Quan, Wang Yunin and others suddenly became happy and immediately moved quickly in the direction of Su Chen. The blood all over the ground gave off a stench, and Su Chen couldn't bear the stench. Fight out. Forcefully use the burial tribulation pen to continuously consume souls. Once the power of the soul is consumed, he will have destroyed himself without the need for the bloodthirsty nether bat to take action. With the help of the burial tribulation pen, Su Chen increased his speed and cut a bloody path. Su Chen, you can't ignore death. Brother Su, please take us with you. Seeing Su Chen fighting out, Wang Yinyu and others were completely stunned. They never expected that Su Chen would leave alone and directly chose to ignore them. The blood all over the ground and the pungent stench of blood made Wang Yin and others' faces look extremely ugly. Not only were they afraid of death, they were also afraid of being eaten by the bloodthirsty nether bats and leaving no trace of their corpses. Looking at the figure that had completely disappeared, everyone's faces were filled with despair. Wang's voice was even a little dull, and he was instantly swallowed by the overwhelming bloodthirsty nether bats. After killing for a full minute, he finally came out. Without stopping at all, Su Chen felt the waves of weakness in his mind and left quickly. As for the life and death of the Wang family, it has nothing to do with him. Be a good person. Then he would have to sacrifice his own life. He was not a saint and could not save unrelated people. Su Chen was shocked by the domineering nature of the burial tribulation pen. It consumed too much soul and would be in great trouble if attacked by other monsters. Spitting out a mouthful of blood, Su Chen shook his head helplessly. There were too many bloodthirsty ghost bats. Fortunately, he had the burial tribulation pen, otherwise it would be difficult to kill them. 2 days later, based on what was drawn on the residual map, Su Chen had probably locked the specific location. He looked at the increasingly dense towering trees around him and held the burial pen in his hand to respond to crises at any time. This is already the deepest part of the heavenly punishment forest. It is very likely that you will encounter Soul Palace realm monsters, or even Condensation realm monsters. To say that you are not afraid of them would be a lie. Someone. Su Chen's figure disappeared instantly. A small valley is surrounded by dense towering trees. If there hadn't been any abnormal movement, it would not be easy to locate this place. In the center of the valley, there were hundreds of warriors, all exuding powerful auras, all staring at the ancient altar in front of them. Throwing away the residual map in his hand, he thought he was the only one to find this place. Now it seems that not only was he a step slower, but he also gathered so many strong people. The valley is a bit eerie and weird, like a purgatory on earth. There are corpses everywhere, especially the ancient altar in the center, which is exuding layers of black mist, like a death knell, and there are resentful cries. The roar slowly came out from the altar. Around the ancient altar, there are stone statues. There are about 8 of them. Each stone statue is a Buddha, with different shapes, with Buddha lotus at its feet, hands clasped together as if chanting something, and there is a faint yellow color behind it. Light surged out, forming a spider web-like seal that enveloped the entire altar. This sound is really disgusting. After listening to it for a long time, my heart seems to be broken. It is said that these 8 stone statues are 8 heavenly dragon formations jointly arranged by 8 top Buddha masters to suppress the altar. As for what is sealed inside the altar, no one knows. Who is the person who spread the residual picture and gathered so many warriors? From the ancient altar, piercing death bell sounded continuously, once, twice, 3 times, just knocking. Hundreds of warriors around, listening to the death knell ringing continuously in their minds, all had serious expressions on their faces. Even though they knew that the 8 heavenly dragon formation might contain some kind of evil treasure or power, they were still unwilling to leave. Whether power is good or evil is not important to a warrior, as long as he masters powerful power. The fist represents everything. Half an hour later, everyone couldn't wait any longer and began to violently bombard the 8 stone statues around them. However, under the shroud of Buddha's light, their attacks were really vulnerable. In the ancient altar, the sound of the death knell became more and more intense. Boom. At this moment, a tumbling airflow appeared on the ancient altar, violently bombarding the surrounding stone statues, and cracks appeared around the altar. There were more and more cracks, as if spider webs were all over the entire altar. In everyone's shocked eyes, the ancient altar completely collapsed. Chapter 9: The God-Killing Bone Bow, Chaos Suppresses the Black Mist. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The ancient altar suddenly collapsed, and waves of terrifying black mist roared out from the altar. Buzz. Sounds of Buddha's chants came out from the mouths of the 8 stone Buddha statues. The Buddha lotus under their feet formed a huge spider web covering the surrounding area, suppressing all the black mist. Even so, there is still a black mist that penetrates the Buddha's aura and rolls out, directly eroding the warrior's body and mind. Ah! The miserable scream suddenly echoed through the void. My soul! What's going on? Get out of here quickly. Some low-level warriors could not withstand the erosion of the black mist at all, and their eyes became bloody and crazy, and they directly attacked other warriors to kill them. Puff. Some warriors were attacked by warriors from behind and died miserably before they could even react. Their bodies were split in two, blood spurted out, and were instantly swallowed clean by the black mist. On the altar suppressed by 8 stone statues of Buddha, black mist rolled, and the terrifying murderous intent roared to the sky, hitting the Buddha's breath mask hard, making people shudder. The piercing death knell began to roar densely, eroding the warrior crazily. Hurry up and enter the altar. Put yourself to death and live again, including Su Chen. They were also eroded by the black mist. It was definitely impossible to leave. The only way was to enter the altar and suppress the black mist with the help of Buddha's breath. Taking one step forward, Su Chen's figure disappeared instantly. Warriors rushed into the altar one after another, no longer caring about the terrifying black mist inside the altar. They might get a chance if they entered the altar, but if they stayed outside, they would definitely die. Give it a try. When the last person poured into the altar, only more than half of the warriors were left. There were stumps and broken arms everywhere, and the pungent smell of blood enveloped the entire valley. The underground space of the altar. In the dim underground space, harsh death knells echoed everywhere, and the black mist all around was like a pair of ferocious eyes, staring at their prey. Ah! It hurts me so much. Who are you? Who are you? As soon as each warrior entered the underground space of the altar, they were instantly shrouded in black mist. They began to talk nonsense, as if they were crazy. Their eyes gradually turned scarlet, and their bodies began to turn scarlet. I'll kill you. They began to fight each other, their scarlet eyes exuding a frightening cold light, waving their hands without any mercy, only killing, crazy attacks. Each warrior's body was filled with cold murderous intent. Even if half of his head was cut off, he didn't know any pain. After retreating continuously, Su Chen's eyes instantly became solemn. Even though he knew there was a problem here, he still chose to enter without hesitation, just to see what the 8 stone statues of Buddha were suppressing. The harsh death knell sounded in his mind. Even if Su Chen was prepared, he still couldn't resist the erosion of the black mist. His expression suddenly changed, and he knew exactly what would happen if he was eroded by the black mist. He doesn't want to become a killing machine. The 3 blood wheels condensed and floated out at the same time, forming blood wheels above the head. They were the devouring blood wheel, the killing sword blood wheel, and the dragon elephant blood wheel. The chaos devouring technique began to run crazily in the body, and the golden body of 100-foot-long chaos body emerged from behind, and the black mist that crazily eroded around him actually made a trembling sound. Su Chen could see that the space beneath the altar was now completely shrouded in black mist. No matter who it was, once it was eroded by the black mist, it would definitely turn into a killing machine. Just at this time, the 4 warriors attacked Su Chen fiercely, like wild beasts, their scarlet eyes exuding a terrifying cold murderous intent. Using the sword of reference, the 9 tribulations sword was used, and with the help of the superimposed power of the 3 blood wheels, there was no suspense. The 4 warriors were massacred without even getting close. The warriors eroded by the black mist looked like ordinary people fighting, and they could not even perform martial arts. Buzz. As the rolling chants of the Buddha resounded through the underground space, the phantoms of the Buddhas condensed out one after another, with their hands clasped together and chanting scriptures in their mouths. The huge Buddha breath condensed into individual swastikas, and the Buddha's light flashed towards the surroundings. Started to suppress them severely. Everyone who was eroded by the black mist and turned into a killing machine, suppressed by the rolling Buddha's breath, one by one swastika hit the forehead. there was no scream, no resistance, the body fell straight down, and instantly turned into corpses. Bow and arrow, at the moment when the phantoms of the 8 Buddhas appeared, a long bow and 9 long arrows appeared out of thin air, exuding a terrifying aura, directly suppressing the Buddha's breath, and the condensed swastikas quickly collapsed one by one. Bows and arrows are definitely treasures. Su Chen is not a fool. The moment he saw the bow and arrows, he already guessed that this bow and 9 arrows were unusual. Being able to be suppressed by 8 Buddhas with such terrifying strength already speaks for itself. The next second, the 8 phantoms of the Buddha began to join forces to suppress the long bow. The vast Buddha breath quickly gathered to form a 100-foot swastika, which fiercely suppressed the long bow. The black long bow slowly opened, and an arrow was put on the bow, and with a hiss, the extremely domineering black arrow collided with Baizhang's. Baizhang's was scattered by the black arrow, and even hit one of the Buddha's phantoms. Very shocked, if you can get such a treasure, it will definitely be beneficial without any harm. Only, it's one thing to want it, but another thing to get it. Su Chen was very aware of the tyranny of bows and arrows. It was almost impossible for him to rely on his current strength to suppress bows and arrows and take possession of them for himself. Please help us suppress the god-killing bone bow. Buddha's destiny is over, and heaven and earth reincarnate. As long as the benefactor is willing to help us suppress the god-killing bone bow, the 8 poor monks are willing to help the benefactor purify the evil power of the god-killing bone bow, and become the donor's treasure. Donor, please take action. An urgent voice sounded in his mind, and he knew without asking that it must be the 8 Buddhas transmitting messages to him. I was very depressed. I was only in the Foundation establishment realm. Even if I wanted to help the 8 Buddhas suppress the god-killing bone bow, I was powerless. Do I have to risk my life? That's certainly unlikely. I am not a member of the Buddhist sect. The so-called I will not go to hell but who will go to hell simply does not work here. The donor only needs to let the poor monk and others use the divine body. With the help of your own chaotic body. Su Chen knew very well that if he used the body of chaos as a medium to help the 8 Buddhas suppress the god-killing bone bow, he would have no control over life or death, choose to give up the opportunity. Not willing to give in, seeing that the god-killing bone bow was so overbearing that even the 8 Buddhas could not suppress it, Su Chen finally decided to agree to help the 8 Buddhas. Chapter 10 Purple Fox, 3000 Alchemy Tao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz. 100-foot golden body of chaos quickly condensed out from behind, the aura of chaos enveloped the underground space, the 8 phantoms of the Buddha recited scriptures again, and streams of vast Buddha breath poured into the chaotic golden body, recondensing into 100-foot long, and suppressed it towards the god-killing bone bow. Puff. A mouthful of blood spurted out, and Su Chen's face turned pale instantly. His cultivation level was not enough to suppress the god-killing bone bow. He just wanted to suppress the god-killing bone bow. With this top-notch treasure, he still wanted to fight for it. Spell, he alone would definitely not dare to take action. He could see how domineering and powerful this god-killing bone bow was. The Chaos Devouring technique is running rapidly in the body, and the swallowing power is constantly swallowing the surrounding black mist, and the black mist is integrated into the chaos golden body, which can temporarily suppress the riot in the heart. The shadows of the 8 Buddhas are majestic, and the vast and majestic Buddha's breath is like countless thunders, penetrating through the layers of void and constantly integrating into the chaotic golden body, severely suppressing the god-killing bone bow. Boom. The Baizhang rotates rapidly, emitting streams of vast Buddha breath, and contains the breath of chaos, which seems to be able to suppress endless hell. The god-killing Jew bone bow collided fiercely with the Baizhang, and the wave like a tsunami spread crazily around, even containing a terrifying power. With their feet on the illusory Buddha lotus and their hands clasped together, the 8 Buddhas each used their top Buddhist powers to form a spider web of Buddha's breath, blocking the surrounding directions, just in case, and escaping with the god-killing bone bow. If I don't go to hell, who will? My Buddha suppresses demons, and there are no demons in the world. 8 heavenly dragons suppress the evil in the world. The 8 Buddhas have serious expressions. Looking from a distance, they look like holy monks coming to save all sentient beings and purify all evil forces in the world. An even more terrifying Baizhang condensed out and directly suppressed the god-killing Ju Bone Bao. This time, instead of being suppressed in the underground space, it was actually suppressed within the Chaos Golden Body. Finally, the 8 Buddhas did not fool me. As long as my Chaos Golden Body can suppress the god-killing Bone Bao, I can use this treasure at will in the future. With endless roars and unwillingness, the god-killing Bone Bao was forcibly suppressed on the Chaos Golden Body. Subsequently, the Golden Body of Chaos disappeared. Thanks to the benefactor's help, the 8 poor monks were able to successfully suppress the god-killing Bone Bao. From now on, the 8 poor monks will also sit in the Golden Body of the benefactor, and together they will help the benefactor suppress the god-killing Bone Bao. Please remember, if you can, don't use this Bao. Once the benefactor is corroded by this Bao, at that time, we can't help the donor. The poor monk and others are now starting to teach the benefactor the 8 top magical martial arts. I hope the benefactor can practice diligently and suppress the god-killing Bone Bao together. The 8 Buddhas is pretty good, whether it was to help him or to completely suppress the god-killing Bone Bao. Teaching him the 8 top magical martial arts is a very beneficial thing for him. Thank you 8 masters. The 8 Buddhas told each other their respective Dharma names, and various magical powers and martial arts continuously poured into their minds. Immediately, the 8 Buddhas disappeared from the place, successfully entered the Chaos Golden Body, and began to help Su Chen suppress the god-killing Bone Bao and the 9 god-killing bone arrows. Until this moment, the 8 Buddhas did not know that Su Chen had condensed the Golden Body as the Golden Body of Chaos. Looking across the entire continent, probably no one would be able to recognize him. Looking at the corpses on the ground, Su Chen didn't feel much pity. He died for a chance. This is what everyone can think of. Opportunities and crises coexist. If he hadn't possessed the Golden Chaos Body, he might not have been able to survive. The 8 Buddhas also wanted to use their golden bodies of chaos and completely suppress the god-killing Bone Bao. Otherwise, they might not come to help them. Just when Su Chen was about to leave, suddenly I saw an ancient altar in the center, which was almost identical to the ancient altar outside. It seemed that this altar was the place where the god-killing Bone Bao was truly suppressed. Being able to be forcibly suppressed by 8 Buddhas using the 8 heavenly dragon formations on the ancient altar already shows how awesome this treasure is. Come to the altar. Looking inside the altar, there was a purple fox lying there. Its body was about the size of a palm, its breath was very weak, and its purple hair looked very beautiful. A monster appeared in the ancient altar. Su Chen was also very curious. He gently took out the purple fox from the altar. It was furry like a pig and felt very good in the hand. You and I are destined to save your life. Putting the purple fox into his arms, Su Chen did not stay any longer. No one would spread the news about what happened here because everyone who knew about it was already dead. Su Chen didn't know, the moment he put the purple fox into his arms, the purple fox had slowly opened his eyes, with a hint of coldness in his eyes. However, for some special reason, he could not mobilize any power in his body and could only close his eyes again, leaving the underground space. As the god-killing Bone Bao was completely suppressed within the body of chaos, there was no longer any black mist in the valley, and the 8 stone statues also completely collapsed. Before leaving, Su Chen completely destroyed the ancient altar, under the scorching sun. Su Chen didn't waste any time. In addition to practicing the chaos swallowing art, he was also practicing the 9 tribulations sword technique, the 8 gates Buddhist magical powers and secret techniques, and the 9 dragons and 9 elephants technique. As for the martial arts practiced in the family, the level was really high. Too low, he knew very well that the 8 Buddhist magical powers and secrets taught to him by the 8 Buddhas were definitely the top martial arts. How could they be wasted? As for the foundation, it is the Chaos Devouring art, which has 9 levels in total. Now he has just scratched the surface of the first level of the Chaos Devouring art, and has not yet reached the peak of the first level. Right now, Su Chen felt a powerful suction coming from the Chaos Devouring Tower. He already knew that the tower spirit was calling him. Without any resistance, his whole body instantly entered the Chaos Devouring Tower. Now, he cannot step into the Chaos Devouring Tower on his own. Only the summons of the tower spirit can lead him in. One day, he will be able to enter and leave the Chaos Devouring Tower at will, then the world inside the tower will be his greatest support. If he encounters a strong person who cannot compete, he will directly hide in the world inside the tower. I believe no one can do anything to him. The world inside the tower, the illusory figure was the tower spirit. Until now, Su Chen didn't know whether the tower spirit of the Chaos Swallowing Tower was male or female. Ta Ling, do you have anything to do with me? That the tower spirit nodded and said with a smile, congratulations to the master for obtaining the god-killing bone bow and the 9 god-killing bone arrows. Since the master has completely fused the 3 blood wheels, according to the rules of the world inside the tower spirit makes an exception and rewards the owner with 3,000 alchemy points. Alchemy? Yes, the 3,000 pill Tao contains the great way of alchemy. As long as the master can fully understand the 3,000 pills, he can reach the great way of alchemy and refine the world's top elixirs. There is a universe furnace here, which is an extra reward for the owner. A small furnace appeared in his hand. Of course, Su Chen was no stranger to alchemists. There were several types of people in the eastern wasteland, and their status was far higher than that of warriors. One is the formation mage, the second is the alchemist, the third is the weapon refiner, and the fourth is the talisman master. However, if you want to become these 4 types of people, you need talents that are far superior to those of warriors. Not everyone can do it, among them, alchemists in particular require extremely abnormal talents. Su Chen doesn't know yet whether he has the talent for alchemy, but since the tower spirit rewards him with 3,000 alchemy skills, he must make good use of it. Master, refining alchemy requires strange fire. There are tens of thousands of different fires in the world, and the master needs to find it by himself. As for ordinary flames, the master only needs the fur of another 3,000 alchemy masters to condense the flames and start refining the elixir. Understood. After leaving the world inside the tower, Su Chen already had the cultivation method of Santian alchemy in his mind. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and began to understand it. The first thing to do is to practice the 3,000 methods of alchemy and condense the flames. Otherwise, refining alchemy is just a matter of talk. Dusk falls. Su Chen was really tired, so he stood up, stretched out, grabbed a wild beast, grilled it and ate it. While eating barbecue, I looked at the purple fox in my palm. The more I looked at it, the more I liked it, and I decided to adopt this purple fox, only, the purple fox's aura is too weak. Under this situation, who knows how long the purple fox can live, maybe he will belch early tomorrow morning. Look at the purple hair all over your body. From now on, I will give you a name. Su Chen thought for a while and said, I'll call you Xiaozi from now on. Slowly opening his lazy eyelids, the purple fox glared, looking obviously very weak. Okay, you can follow me from now on. I will help you find some spiritual herbs or buy some elixirs first. Now, he has not yet condensed the flames and cannot make elixirs at all, so he can only buy them.